Good afternoon, morning, evening, everyone. I already messed it up. We've just started a couple seconds and I already messed it up. Rakychu's laughing his ass off right now. Let's go. We're doing it. So, guys, welcome to Master Damage. On this first episode of this new podcast, we're going to be talking a lot of Gigantic. Mostly about the start of the open beta this week, which is some pretty big news. With me is my buddy Rakychu, who has already been laughing at me for a bit. He almost fell out of his chair during the countdown. I saw it. Oh, don't think you can escape from me, mister. But how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. How are you doing?
Yeah, sure. I'm a little nervous. Kind of never done this before. Just a little nervous.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's just.
I'm drinking beer, so it's
yeah,
good.
same. I got a nice blonde beer. It's about 6.5%, but it's alright.
Well, I can't remember how much percent mine is.
I know,
I already had 3 beers, so.
Rakychu had like a nice keg. Yeah, it's like a full keg of beer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a whole 5 liters of beer next to me.
Yeah.
I should be sorted.
Alrighty then. So, shall we get on with it then?
Yes.
All right.
Let's continue.
So the first thing, what have you been playing during this first phase of open beta? Actually, what have you been aiming the train, basically?
Pretty much, I think since open beta, open beta started, I obviously started with my trademark Zenobia. Gotta get that Zenobia in there, right there.
Yes.
But since then, I've been mainly focusing on Imani Voden. I feel, especially EU servers being more consistent, then they feel a little bit better than closed beta a bit.
Yeah.
So aiming feels much nicer to do now.
Yeah, definitely.
So definitely what I've been mainly doing. I'm thinking of maybe expanding out more, mess about with like Griselma, Muzu a bit more. What have you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing pretty much everything, actually. Because I've been streaming a lot, like doing requests, embarrassing myself a lot on heroes I don't play. Like especially this morning or afternoon, I actually accidentally locked in Vodasi, made a complete ass of myself, and got extremely tilted.
Ouch.
I'm not... maybe someone saw that, actually. It was not pretty. I actually bugged out in the next champion select, so I was about to get another Vodasi game in, and I was like, nope, fuck this shit, I'm out. So I dodged hero select. I dodged hero select, so I didn't get Vodasi another game. As that would have been depressing, very. But so I've been playing pretty much everything, mostly just a bit of Woo. I've been accidentally getting decent at Trip. Because I started playing, I started to play Trip as more of a meme, kind of thing. Cause I'm so bad at Trip. Yeah, look at me, man. Look at me embarrassing myself. And then I kind of got decent at it, so I do pretty well now. And I actually enjoy playing Trip. So that's a really good one. No, but generally I've been playing a lot of different stuff, but also a lot of Voden, like all-time favorites and HK and shit.
Sounds good. You got a much better range of heroes played than I did.
Yeah. Well, probably yes.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is the main topic, pretty much, is open beta. So how excited are you that it's actually happening right now?
It just feels nice that I can play this game and just not be concerned the fact that there's going to be this like either like week gap, month gap, or whatever gap from the next time I can actually play the game. The fact that I can consistently play every day is just, it's so nice.
Yeah, definitely. And also the EU servers being back and shit, you briefly mentioned it yet, but it's really good to finally have our own community again, and not have to play with like 100 plus ping. No reg issues have been much less.
I haven't really been like I kind of forgot about the no reg issues that we used to have. Like they're definitely like, okay, I will admit there are occasional times where things are no regging for me, but overall it's much more consistent, which feels really nice now.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and also like just like the EU population, like people are actually consistently playing. Q pops are happening consistently. Okay, there's the odd time during like when everyone's either eating or asleep and stuff, where you're not going to get as many queues.
Yeah.
But during like the main times, during the afternoon, during the evening, you get consistent games.
Yeah, I think
it feels nice.
I think I had like 2 or 3 minute queues like last weekend, so it's pretty nice to have finally, instead of like those 10-minute plus queues back in the day when we had
God.
EU service for the first time. Oh man,
No,
that's
come
good
on.
times.
It's all about the time I was streaming. Motiga hosted me to kind of advertise their game shit.
Yeah.
And then I have a queue for an hour.
It just-
It's just like, what?
You're just sitting there trying to entertain the few people that are still there, like the real diehards in there.
That was a horrible time.
Yeah. But yeah, we're playing on the Windows Store now, where we had Arc in the last couple of tests. So how has that transition been for you? Because we've been playing on Arc. Multiple people have, or like a lot of people have been playing on the Windows Store this entire time. But
I'm kind of mixed opinions with the Arc Windows stuff. Like, end of the day, it's the same game, so it doesn't really make a difference in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it comes to quality of life things, I feel Arc is slightly better than Windows.
Yeah.
Like, some of the things would be, from a streamer's point of view, you don't have the game capture, window capture options. You have to do monitor capture, which is annoying.
Uh-huh.
You have things like when your party is open, like it's been there back in closed beta, even back in like April when it was the previous 24/7.
Yeah.
Like if you're just sitting in the menu, not in queue, anyone can go to your Xbox profile and join your party. Like, they don't need permission. It's really annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing that probably will change in the future, or at least
Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope Motiga will get Microsoft to do something about that. At least,
Hopefully something. I don't like
yeah, at least the thing you can do is not add people back, but
yeah.
of course it's kind of antisocial a little bit. You don't want to be a dick.
Yeah.
You're like,
Well, the thing is, like, you add people, but there's not really, like, it's completely separate from Gigantic itself. The only reason you use Xbox Client is to get someone in the party, and adding them just makes it quicker to access their profile. So, in terms of, like, adding each other, there's no real benefit apart from ease of use. But also, like, a lot of people have issues using the Xbox Client. So, I don't experience it myself, so I must be one of the lucky ones, I guess. But yeah, that's one of the things I hear a lot.
Like, I definitely think it's a little bit more unwieldy than the Arc client, because you have to go like in the separate client to add people as friends and like add them to parties and stuff. Just as you mentioned, the main issue for me is just not being able to use window capture for streaming. I think that's very annoying. But what I do think is strange that they completely shut down Arc for this test. So it's not strange. I think it's a very, very smart decision. I was just like, maybe if you've seen my personal video, I was like ranting on it a bit. It fucking sucks on that they would split up the playbase like that. But now that they actually closed down Arc, I'm kind of like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. It sucks for the people playing on Windows 7 and 8.
Yeah,
definitely, because they got locked out again. But
yeah, like, it's one of these weird things. Like, it all comes down to what Motiga's end goal is. Like, obviously, it's like, they're currently, Arc's not available, so therefore you're missing part of the player base. A lot of people are going, well, I don't want to invest in this game because I'd rather use Arc over Windows 10. You've got all these issues around. But the thing is, Motiga, like, if I remember right in their post, they said they want to make it unified, the community unified. So therefore, Arc is probably delayed until they can unify it. But then you've also got the flip side. People are going to be earning currency, unlocking heroes, unlocking skins with the rupee rewards they're getting. And a lot of people, I wouldn't be surprised, will be like, well, I don't want to go do all that again on Arc, so I'm just going to stay here. So if the unification, when they reintroduce Arc, is not achieved amazingly, the community will be completely split because of it. Which is, it's providing the player base in Windows is decent and Arc somehow gains a good community, it'll probably be okay. Obviously, this comes down to population thing. I think the thing that will mainly be hurt is competitive. Competitive will take a huge hit if there's two different communities.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the obvious ideal scenario is that the Xbox and Windows clients will be completely unified. Like it's one account, but you just share like a gigantic username for something.
Yeah, obviously that is the ideal dream. Like, you can have an account on Arc, Windows, or Xbox, whatever you want to call the Windows version, and they're combined, so you have the stuff in both Arc, Xbox, and Windows 10 version, store version. However, I would probably be okay providing all three clients can play together, and when they do eventually introduce things like custom games in the future, that I really hope they do, cross-play is, like, you can mix teams up using, like, you can have 2 members from Arc, 2 from Windows 10, and an Xbox player playing all together in one custom game. That would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be really cool. It's definitely the skill difference between Xbox players and PC players is not all that apparent yet. Like, you can somehow you notice it. Like, some people are like weirdly aiming.
It comes down to the hero at the end of the day. Like, I think some heroes you can get away. Like, I guess, like, if you play more like Blade Dance focused Taito, you can kind of get away with it. Okay, your swoops will be a bit awkward to use at times. But you can definitely get Xbox controllers working with Gigantic. Like, I've seen a few people I think are Xbox. Obviously, there's no way to tell if they're an Xbox user unless you talk to them themselves. But I've seen some people who have weird turning circles, which look like they're on a controller, which play fairly well. So I think there is a skill gap, but I don't think it's huge at the moment.
Definitely. Right. So you briefly mentioned the currency people are earning, and with the Founders Pack and that investment that brings. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Founders Pack.
Let's
talk
price,
about
man.
Right.
Is what was it, $40?
Yeah, €40
too
even.
much.
€40 even for me.
I think it's like £36 in England or something like that.
It's more adjusted to the euro,
remember.
I guess.
Just like a side tangent. For some reason, the Microsoft Store doesn't convert dollars to euros effectively.
Oh, really?
Because it's the same price. It's the same price for both clients.
Yeah. Maybe you can work around.
There might be something. There might be a hidden thing. Like, there might be like something to do with tax or something in there. I don't know. Yeah. I don't really know much about currency and money and stuff. But yeah, like, I think it's hard to call because obviously, like, when you look at the actual Founders Pack, they say the value of it is over $150, which I can see. Like, 16 heroes, 4 future heroes, 2 skins, and a founder status. Obviously, we don't know what founder status actually means. Like, whether that's going to be a tag somewhere.
I think they also mentioned you get like two of these player icons, which are not in the game yet. So the system of the system of changing your player icons is not in the game yet, but it's in the Founders Pack. So you would get like the founder status, the bling of the player icon.
That would make more sense because, like, I've been looking at it going, how are they going to implement this founder status? Like, is it just going to be this thing on your match history whenever that gets implemented? So, okay, that's interesting to hear. But, like, when you look at it, like, hearing that it's over $150 does sound right. Like, that does sound like that would cost that much if you go individually through rupee costs.
Yep.
The thing that I feel a lot of people are going, this is too expensive, is because things like the Smite God Pack, the Paladins one, I think there was one. Like, there's so many games that have packs that are around this price that gives every hero in the future as well. I feel because it's just 4, a lot of people are like, well, but this is a better deal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like up there. Like, personally, I think they should. If I was going to price it, I'd probably have priced it around $30.
Yeah, same.
Rather than 40. They could have maybe got away more with 30. But I think even with $40, I think people will still buy it. But the people who buy it will be more committed to Gigantic.
Definitely. You mentioned the gold packs and from Smite and Paladins, and even other founder status from other games are usually around like $25 to $30. And have similar deals. So I agree with you that $40 seems a bit overpriced. Definitely because just the availability of the other products. That is.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's an awkward time for doing these types of finder packs because of how many companies are just going, well, we have this financial backing. We can just go, you can have everything and lose profits in the future. Because obviously, the thing with this pack, once those 4 future heroes come out, they will start earning profits from the people who brought the Founders Pack again.
Yeah.
If they buy rupees for future heroes.
Definitely.
Obviously, that is still hugely debatable because people who have brought it now will most likely play quite a lot and have a ton of banked up currency for when heroes come out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one of those, like, the dedicated people probably won't matter.
Oh boy.
I think the thing that I want to know, because wasn't there something on the Founders Pack that said that it ends at the end of open beta? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
I think that was written on the store page, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I feel when that ends, what does Motiga do after that? Do they make an alternative Founders Pack type thing with heroes that they can just edit in the future, or do they just stop doing it? I think that's going to be the next thing that I feel will be interesting to see.
Yeah, so they might have the option of actually just extending the deal. Maybe it's like, yeah, get all these heroes for like get all these heroes for the same price basically, and it's like you would buy Gigantic in the store basically. It would be like that.
I can see them when the game is released with everything they want and stuff, them dropping the limited edition skins to founder status. And then maybe cheapening the price a little because you're losing the skins, obviously.
Yeah.
So that would be like 1,000 rupees off, which is about $10. So they could put it down to that $30 and just sell the launch heroes and the 4 heroes when they're out.
Definitely.
As like a starter pack, you get like in League, you have those packs you can buy with RP, which is like starter, which gives you like a set of heroes and stuff. I feel that's the path I'd kind of want Motiga to take. But obviously, end of the day, is Motiga's choice.
I think that would be good to do. The Smite got back even went a little crazier. They went from like get 40 heroes to like all of them. So maybe Motiga goes like, oh yeah, fuck it, we got like shit tons of money now from this founder pack, and we just extend everything.
That could be the flip side. They might potentially talked and gone, okay, we want to sell a founders pack, but we don't want to commit on giving every hero, and they might change it. You never know. It's Motiga.
You never know.
The game was meant to release last year.
Yep. Definitely. So that would be good. I honestly just like the idea of the final spec just in general. I think it's a good idea for people to support the game early on, and get all the heroes, all the content that's already in the game. So yeah, I think that the concept is good. I think just the price point is a little off at the moment. But yeah, let's go over the other things that have been. So before the open beta launch, we got like a huge patch. So let's go over that. And we got like a different thing for that. So
we have a whole page.
Yeah,
of patch notes
we have a whole page of patch notes, and you can read with us, friends. So let's do this real quick. There we go. I hope you can read everything. I think it's possible. So we're going over the biggest things in the patch notes, like just the biggest changes, the things that jump out to us the most. And we're gonna start with the focus priming, which is up right now.
Ooh, the very hit and miss thing.
Yes,
I've had very mixed feelings
definitely.
about this.
Definitely.
like personally, I can see the benefits of it. I just feel there's a lot of things that's been removed since closed beta by implementing this.
Yeah,
I also feel that different heroes benefit from it, and some just completely get gutted because of it.
Yeah, so
do you want to go through it?
So yeah, the focus priming thing is basically you have to charge up your focus somehow. Basically, it's just when you get a focus charge, you can activate it, and then you have a small window to actually use the focus. And in that small time, you you just have to have time to readjust the focus, so you can aim. And basically, it was meant to make people who play on a controller have more control over their focus. I believe. I think that was one of the reasons they gave it.
It's kind of both. I think it does, in some sense, give you a little bit more control. Like, you can set it up, but obviously you have the flip side of that, the fact that when you do prime your focus, you make the big glowy flash.
Yeah. It was also meant as a...
I've noticed...
Huh? Go ahead.
Go for it. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Like, the one thing I've mainly noticed that I think is the main issue with it is if you end up in a 1v1 situation, using your focus is probably the worst thing to do in that 1v1 now. Just because it's blatantly obvious that you're about to focus. So on like a player who understands the game and knows how to control will know how to dodge out of that hero's focus.
Yeah.
Obviously it depends on the hero how you dodge it. I guess one of the best primes is Taito. Like, if you're 1v1ing a Taito and he's standing in front of you and he suddenly does a flash, you're going to dodge to the side so that it doesn't hit you.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously you have another issue with like Trip, because Trip locks onto you, so you can't dodge it effectively.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to try and dodge in front of someone else and pray they take it.
So the thing I felt about focus priming the most, like, I haven't played a ton of games yet, so I can't really really be sure about this, but I felt like the big AoE focuses felt really bad compared to like the single target things like Wu and Trip, maybe, because I've been using a bit of Voden and Charnok, and I think with those heroes, you kind of want to look for the opportune moment to get like this nice group of people.
Surprise.
Yeah, you want the surprise, and you want like the best moment to actually use it. And as you focus prime, there's like this small delay between actually pressing the first time and then the second time, and you actually lose a bit of that time that you had for that really good moment that you had. Because when everyone lines up for that Charner focus or something, and you have to press the button twice, and maybe someone walks out or something, it's very, very unfortunate most of the times.
Yeah, just so people are like, if people haven't really read into the patch notes about focus priming, the way it works is you hit your focus button F or left stick, right stick down, and then you have, if you were to like instantly click again, there is a 3.5 second, according to the patch notes, delay before your focus will actually go off. Obviously, if you activate it and you wait, because obviously you have a window to use your focus, if you wait, you obviously won't have that delay. However, people will expect it because they see you flashing.
Yeah.
I think another thing to note is Imani actually hasn't changed, because in theory, the way her focus works, it is focus priming, because you scope in and then you shoot your free shots. Which means that Imani is one of the kind of doesn't really get affected by this change.
Same with Vadasi. Like, Vadasi has focus priming, but it's not all that bad or something.
It's hit and miss. You can't. The one thing I noticed with it is you can't, because I get it with Zenova a lot as well. You can't insta-focus. So if you have an assassin on you, like say you're like below 50% health, Taito swoops in, you can't just activate your focus and survive. That's just gone.
Rip.
Zenobia gets it even worse, because obviously Zenobia's focus takes like half a second to a second to actually stun the person. So you have even longer bit of time. It doesn't really affect in terms of like, if you're pushing a wound and you're going to stun a few people, it doesn't really affect that at all. However, it does if an assassin jumps you. Because if they're point blank on you, you're going to panic focus, and it's just not going to work half the time.
Alright. I can see that though.
But like the one, like if I was to look at the positives, I play Wu quite a bit, especially like the previous closed beta test before this open beta started. Focus priming is allowing me to hit more focuses than I was in the previous one. I don't know whether this is just my skill improving with Wu or the focus priming, but I'm noticing that I can aim my focus, I can suddenly switch it before it actually goes off to react to the person dodging.
Definitely. I've noticed that too. So yeah, I do play a bit of Wu as well. What I do think is that it works just worse than in combos. So when you're going like for this quick, clean, full one-shot combo on Wu, because Wu can do that. Wu can do that to like a trip or something. So if you're going for that, then it feels worse. But if you're actually looking to like initiate fights with your focus, or like catch someone out with like opening on your focus, I think that's more possible now. So it opens up a different way of going about using Wu's focus, I guess.
Yeah, it's obviously like people who are used to the old system are not gonna like this change. Like it's gonna take. This is a change that's gonna take quite a while to get used to.
Yeah.
I feel if Gigantic had this system from the start, no one would be complaining because they'll just assume that's the game. So it's kind of like this really weird, like, it could, like, new people probably don't notice it because they haven't experienced instant focuses.
Yeah. And then there's also the opportunity for Motika to actually implement the instant focuses again, like re-implement them in some other way, so that it's an option in the settings menu or something. Like Smartcast and Leak or something. So,
like that's the luxury. Like we're not released; we're in open beta, so therefore things can change. So therefore, if we just like voice our opinions, like as we're voicing here on the podcast, you can voice on the Arc forums.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if you voice your opinions, Motiga will most likely read it, or people will start talking about it, and Motiga will eventually pick up on it, and they might change things. Like, they might make it more quality of life, they might make it work better, they might even just re-implement instant focuses. We don't know. It's Motiga.
Yep. Is that becoming a catchphrase? We don't know, it's Motiga.
That'll probably become my catchphrase.
Good.
Like, it comes down, like, if we're not talking about it, Motiga isn't gonna do anything.
Definitely.
So if you don't like it, write like a forum post on, like, find a forum post or talk on the fucking Arc forums. Else, like, nothing's gonna change. Like,
yeah, even the Reddit, because there have been a lot of Motigans on the Reddit, so they read
that's a
that.
good point. The Reddit is probably a good place to post as well. So
yeah, it opens up. I think Reddit is more usable than the Arc forums. But
it's hit and miss. Like I think they read both. So
yeah, obviously they should read both.
Hopefully.
But yeah, hopefully they do. So the next thing, I believe that's the known issues. So let's scroll through a little bit. I believe the settings menu is next up on our list. So we got some new settings, like redesigned settings menu and stuff. Like, what do you think about it?
I like the fact that they've changed it. It takes the full screen now though, rather than the window. I personally preferred the window, but I can deal with the full screen, so I'll get with it. I like that more options are actually working now. It's a shame that we don't have borderless yet. I still want my borderless mode.
Yep, I do too.
One day we'll get it. I think there's a bug with full screen at the moment, but we'll just hopefully there's a fix in the pipeline.
The full screen bugs have been in the game for a long time, so
yeah, we hope it's going to change eventually. But like like things to note, like the crosshair used to have cooldowns on like your skills on the crosshair. That's now an option you can turn on or off whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
like the small things there are quite nice. Like the creature binding buttons work.
Oh yes, that's really nice. Even
like,
though
it's like I don't change them because I'm so used to the old ones, but just the option to do it is really nice. So
yeah, no, like actually being able to rebind like dodge and stuff again, which is really nice as well. So I think that was that. Like, do you have any?
Pretty much. Like sensitivities seem to have changed a bit, but it just takes a little while to get used to a new sensitivity. That's all,
I guess. So then another like small thing is the tutorial videos.
The tutorial video is so good.
Yeah, I think they're really good.
Like
super funny.
Like if you've not gone onto the client and clicked tutorial videos and watched it, you're missing out. Like they've done a really good job now.
Yep, it's so good.
I would admit I do have one gripe with it. There is the part where you're they're like showing how like defending the wound. It does have Charnock standing in front of the wound, R and being like with the enemies out of range. That kind of triggers me a little.
I can see that.
But apart from that, like the voice acting is really good. The way they pass across the actual main objectives is good. Like people, hopefully, if people are watching this, they'll actually have a better understanding of how the game runs and what they should be doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, Gigantic is a complex game, like fairly complex game when it comes to like top level play. So
yeah, I hope that'll make people understand better what to do in the first games they play. Because yeah, it's a very difficult game to understand at first because it's very different from other games. Like the way you go about objective is super different than like a League of Legends or something.
Like, you're gonna get a lot of people coming from different backgrounds. You're gonna have people coming from like Smite League, your MOBA background. You're gonna have people coming from your shooter like TF2, Overwatch, and then you're gonna have the people coming from like the kind of hybrids of like Battleborn. So you might even have people coming from other games completely. So the skill levels are going to be all over the place. People are going to have different skills in the game, but I just kind of like it. Kind of combines mechanics from different games. That's what I really like about Gigantic.
Yep, definitely. So the next thing we're going to talk about is a really big one. It's the interrupt changes. Yes.
Where do you want to start with this one?
So again, I'll leave this to you because I've not been able to play all that much. So
okay, so pretty much in short, for people who don't know what's happened, is a lot of skills would interrupt people. Interrupt in like closed beta and before, where you would like take Wu's flowing fist, like the Q ability. Not flowing fist.
No, it's crashing waves, I believe.
Crashing waves? I can't remember the skills. The Q ability on Wu, I'll go with that. Also, Cyclone Kick on Wu would interrupt, which would stop them doing the ability they're currently casting and also stop them moving. It was kind of like a mini stun hype. Well, it's like a displacement more than a stun. However, that's been changed now that it will only do damage unless they are actually doing a skill, then it will interrupt. Other skills have been changed to other different types of CC, like soft CC or hard CC, depending on the skill. So key things to note is the kind of stealth LMB attack on Trip. I can't remember the name. It would...
Was Shocking Blades, I believe.
Yeah, Shocking Blades, that's the one. That will now stun when it hits, rather than interrupt.
Yes, that's painful.
You have... On the free charge LMBs for Charnock, you have a daze now rather than interrupt. And there's a various numbers. Just go look and it'll be written in their descriptions now. So a lot of things have changed. I think most of them are right. I think Charnock free charge daze can be quite strong. When used effectively. The trip Shocking Blades is horrendous at the moment, especially when combined with her kick. It's scary, and if a good trip is doing it, you are dead if they have focus.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, you get stunned into insta kick, like the perfect CC chain, and then insta focus, and you're gone. If you're playing like Amani or Voden or something, you're dead. You're away from the map.
It's scary when you're against a good trip. A lot, like, if the trip doesn't get the combo right, you can escape it. But if the trip gets the combo, you're probably not going to survive, or you're going to be so low that she can just chase after you and one-shot you. I feel that's probably going to be changed in future patches, we hope. I don't know how you feel about it, but, like, I think the stun could probably be reduced, but I feel the kick is more the culprit. But it's up for debate, and it's as I'll say for everything, it's down to Motiga in the end of the day of how they want to change it.
I generally think the stun is incredibly strong, and what I felt like I've been one shot once today. I don't think it was not even a name I recognized, so it might have been an Xbox player. It was pretty embarrassing, but I was playing Amani, but I got just deleted. But yeah, I found it very frustrating to deal with for the first couple times. After I got stunned a couple times, I was like, yeah, all right. it's fine now. But I do hope they change it. Maybe the stun, like, reduce it a little bit, because I think the duration is just very long. The amount of time you can lock up something with Trip right now is incredible. I think it goes up to, like, I think 3 or 4 seconds at least, compared to the focus, maybe even longer. So yeah, on the Charnock days, I've tried it out myself. I don't feel it's
strong, but it's hard to use compared to like the burn build that was in the meta. So
yeah, because you have to wait for that 3 charge, so you can't really use it on something like reactively, because you have to wait like a full second and a half to actually charge up the thing. So I do think it's very strong, but I doubt its usability actually. So I don't think it's actually all that.
I think it is viable. However, it depends on the situation. I think in competitive play, it could be viable because you can kind of run Charnock in a supportive role in terms of running the slow field on E, on Hot Hail, and then using the Daze and the Reflect Shield on R&B. So you kind of become this, like, you kind of reflect things away from people. You have the pushback on R&B to push assassins off your carries. You can stun people. Like, one of the main things to note is if you can daze Imani and it will knock her out of scope. So if the Imani's running the free charge, that's just going to completely remove that 3 times off her. So there are uses for it, but it's a situational thing. Like, you can't just run it. Like, well, you can just run it because I think it's like a 2-second daze at the moment. It's like, or 1.5. I think it's exactly the same as the HK daze on hand cannon, which is kind of scary. Like, I know when I was testing it, creatures were ridiculously easy to kill because you just keep dazing them while someone else attacked it.
I can definitely imagine that. Yeah.
It definitely has its use and its place. I just feel personally the Insta Meteor into burn build is just stronger in general.
Alright. So yeah, of course this is a very new mechanic and new thing in the game, and it will probably require some tweaking in further builds. And I think in general Motiga is moving the beta space to a little more experimental thing. I think that's a trend we've been seeing.
Yeah, definitely.
Also with the new heroes that are in the founder spec actually moving into the open beta, because we know that the heroes coming out for the founder spec are actually going to be implemented over the open beta. So yeah,
it's definitely going to be interesting to see what for. Like, I'm just going to automatically assume Paco is going to be one of them, just because he has been playable in one of the previous tests.
He might even be the first one.
Like, it'll be a huge shock to everyone if Paco just doesn't appear.
Yep.
Like, I think there's a lot of outcry for Paco to come back.
Are we going to see Roland as one of those 4?
That's a tough one. Like, because obviously they removed Roland to rework. We don't know how well that rework is going. So
we might see Roland.
We might not. It's one of those. It'd be nice, I think, having Roland back in the team would be good, and it'll stop the things like "who is Roland" questions now and then.
Yep. It's become quite a bit of a meme actually. It's like, who the fuck's Roland? Where's Roland? Just the questions everywhere. But alright, let's move on to this. So we'll see how the intro changes develop over the next coming patches. Definitely. And I think we're on like the Guardian part.
Guardians.
Yes. So the Guardian now uses an attack when it rampages. So it like rains down fire from the sky and fucks everyone, or at least it tries to.
It's an interesting change.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't tell if the attack locations are set or
I believe so.
random?
I believe they're like
Are they set?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they are.
Okay, because I've only ever been hit by 2 Guardian attacks through rampages, and generally that's because I've been pulled into them.
I think I've seen you die to one of them. Like I was running.
I think I got interrupted into like a daze, into like a stun, and then just Guardian knocked me. I was like, well, I'm dead. That's a good combo.
I remember like walking like to go for the wound, and I saw you like getting hit by one of these things and just blowing up. I was like, peace, Rakychu, later. I'm going for the wound. Yeah,
they hurt.
They definitely hurt. They do like
get hit, they will hurt.
Yep.
But like I feel over time people will just learn where they're gonna hit, so they'll try and avoid those spots. But then there's also the twist of that. When people learn where they are, people who play like Wu or Margrave will try and stun or pull people into those spots when Guardian's rampaging. I think they're like, I don't know how often they'll hit certain areas, like, because isn't it like it does like 500 to 1,000 damage?
Yeah,
per hit?
I believe 500.
It's something around 500.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked. I don't really look at my death recap, so I kind of just go, whoop, I die.
So yeah, that's about a third of a squishy character's life. So like a third to a quarter basically of like most characters.
I think if someone gets hit by it, it's if it was just damage, I think it would be okay. But I think the fact that it CCs, if there's anyone else, an enemy nearby, they're gonna capitalize on that CC so well.
Definitely.
It's like a 2 second, 1.5 seconds knock up or something. It's long.
Yep, definitely. All right then. On to the next thing. I believe the creatures is up next. And
creatures.
What we had here was the Cyclops walls now having a little bit of a different aesthetic to them, depending on enemy walls.
Changes. I think the main thing is quality of changes. Like you have the Cyclops walls now glow green or red, depending on whether they're ally or enemy, which is nice when looking across from a distance. You also have the bloomers now have the deflect shield when they're healing, for 6 seconds, I believe it is. Which is really nice against Imani on Sanctum, because I know I'll admit I was abusing this in closed beta. Like you just go boom bolts, AoE boom bolts. Someone would go up to the bloomer to heal. You shoot the bloomer, they take more damage, and then you kill the bloomer.
Yes. I do think that's bugged at the moment, though. I believe sometimes when you are in melee range of a creature, it will also have the deflect shield up when it's healing.
It's linked to the healing.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure how it works, but I've definitely seen a couple of Motigans say that's a bug and they want to fix it. So that's a good thing.
Definitely, it's very annoying if you're playing a ranged hero and you're running up to kill a creature or help kill a creature, and there's someone in melee range and like, oh, wait, why the fuck's the deflect shield up? But yeah. Let's see.
I guess the more major news about creatures is the Yeti Cyclops, the Storm Drake, and the Autumn Bloomer are not available, which is an interesting decision.
Weird, very weird.
I'm not sure what's the reason behind it. I don't know if Motiga have made a statement on it.
No, I'm not sure either.
However, like, I guess maybe they want to save it later. Maybe they're doing changes, like maybe they're updating it, changing how they work or something. But you losing the Storm Drake and the Ice Yeti is definitely a huge blow to being able to put a creature down, which is gonna be able to protect itself.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is a shame. Obviously, you can get around it. I will admit, I haven't tried the Shadow Cerberus yet.
Oh, same.
So, I think I've seen it once. So I guess that's something we'll probably have to come back to.
Yeah, definitely. We'll probably have to try out this Shadow Cerberus a couple of times, see how it works. But yeah, definitely, I think it's weird that they would remove it, especially without saying anything.
Like, I will admit, the Autumn Bloomer wasn't really used a lot. It was kind of a weird, like, it gave you stealth if you picked up the health orbs, which was nice. You got a speed boost with it. You could, like, if there was one up, I'd grab the health orb to move to a wound quicker.
Yep.
But outside of that, the use of it was really limited. But and then there was the Stone Serb. I forgot about the Stone Serb.
Nobody remembers the Stone Serb.
The Stone Serb, the free focus Cerberus with the reduced vision range. Yep. So it hit hard. Like, killing that thing was annoying.
Yeah, definitely. It was dank as shit too.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting decision. I don't know, like...
Oh shit, sorry?
We'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, I leaked my Twitter on stream, good shit. I got a notification. I was like, oh, let's check out that thing. But I'm using monitor capture for everything, so no, you saw my Twitter, guys.
Dear. Stop advertising yourself too early.
I just snuck it in there. So yeah, one final thing about the patch notes, the maps. Let's scroll down, battlegrounds. So the practice arena, it's looking really nice. Just a small note on that, it's looking really good.
Really good.
Yep.
For some reason it has an invisible floor, like in the middle of it, which you can't see but you can walk across, which is weird. But I'm sure that'll be fixed in future patches.
I think the practice arena is probably my favorite music track so far. So most sounds. Hats off to you. I love it. I really love it. So then Ghost Reef has like a small change towards the Guardian area. Some terrain changes. It's now should flow a little bit better now.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Not major.
No.
I think the major thing with Ghost Reef is the D point. You cannot summon on the D point anymore. That is huge.
Yep. Thank Mortiga for that, because I got sick and tired of spamming caution and like no in the QMS when everyone was like trying to summon D and like just feed power to the enemy team over and over and over again.
Your team just ignores all 3 points and goes to D just to summon it.
Like, and you're like, oh god, you're like at B summoning like the reactor point, like the back right one. And you're like, oh shit, they didn't summon A. I've got to walk all the way around.
I think the worst part is if you manage to get an adult Serb, a Storm Drake, a Summer Bloom on there. It's like heaven. You can just constantly push places.
Yeah, if people let you do that, then you're pretty much set in like pub games. Unless you have people with a brain on the enemy team, or like with like some game knowledge where you can just stand on the ledge and just rain down it. Yeah. But yeah, definitely getting that Service Majoris on there was hurtful or something. So.
But I think it's a good change. Like it just makes it this neutral point where you got to collect the orb. Like. And I will admit, a lot of games you don't actually see getting that orb because, like, 2 people die, so therefore they've replaced that orb in theory.
Yep, definitely.
But it's a nice change. So when it's stalematy, it kind of forces a fight in the center.
Yep.
Or it just gets completely ignored.
Yep. Also happens. And then some final like map changes to Sanctum Falls. Those like the frog pillars in the river blocking some of the sidelines from Amani. Basically that's it. That's why they're there. They're there because
Pretty
Amani.
To stop the Amani sightlines from the upper balcony in the center. I still don't feel like it helps. Like you can hide behind it to gain those stamina and the health, providing there's no one else in river, obviously. I feel the issue of Sanctum being range dominant as hell is still there, especially when you go to Clash.
Yes.
I really hope they edit Clash at some point.
I hope so too. Definitely.
Like, Clash is just horrible. There's like 3 spots that Marnie can just sit and you can't do anything about it. Well, you can't do anything about 2 unless you have like a Wu or another Imani on your team. Like, it's horrible.
Alright. So, as a final thing, we're gonna be going over like the general balance of heroes. We don't feel like there's any heroes that have significant changes that really impact the game. I think we agree on that.
I think like
so. Yeah, what's the
a couple of heroes have had like kind of key changes. Like Margrave Staggering Leap is now both paths are a stun now.
Yeah. Because of the interrupt change.
Because of the interrupt change, that's something that's changed. You have Griselma, who now had the healing path on her LMB, Reach Out, has now been changed to a melee attack, which is interesting. I haven't really tested it properly, so I can't give real good comments. But it from what I messed about with it a little in practice mode, and it looked good. But yeah, it's definitely a change that I wouldn't mind testing. I think it could be quite strong if used right.
Yeah, I was facing a Griselma game in one of my games today, and one of the Griselma mains. I'm sorry, and he was very annoying. He was very annoying. So I think Griselma is can be pretty effective, especially if people are not really paying attention to her hands and like not taking them out. So yeah, I think Grisama definitely is a very interesting hero in like in a perspective of like how can we use it and how can you play around Grisama as a team, and I think that's a very interesting point going forward.
I guess one of the other changes we should probably highlight is Sven with his focus, with the fact that it's now snails
yes.
instead of little dinosaurs.
That's a game-changing change right there.
That's game-changing.
Yeah.
Especially because the hitbox of the snails are bigger. I don't know if anyone's noticed that one.
No, I have not thought about it that way, actually.
It's actually easier to hit the snails than it is to hit the dinosaurs,
nice.
Which is an interesting thing.
So, as a final note, what are our expectations about the game? Like, what do we see added in the short term? We already touched on it a little bit, like the 4 heroes from the Founder Spec, of course, going into the open beta. But what do we expect over the course of the open beta, pretty much?
I think, obviously, the new heroes, the 4 heroes, some of them coming out, all of them coming out, whatever ends up happening. That will obviously be interesting and kind of an expectation. I'd like a couple of them at least during open beta. Because obviously it all depends how long is open beta going to be.
Yes.
Like, we don't know. So they haven't said how long they're thinking open beta is going to take. It could take a month, 3 months, a year. You never know. I'd kind of like a chat system to come in before game releases. That would be really nice. I'm not so fussed about like voice comms. Like, it would be nice, but I don't think it's required.
Nope. I agree with that.
I would like a custom game setting.
Definitely.
Custom games would be nice. I'd also like spectators. However, I don't mind if spectator comes out slightly after release, because that can be quite complex to do.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess custom games can also be, depending on if they're trying to get crossplay working.
Yeah.
Depending on how they implement it. I guess if I was to put one more, I had it and now I've just forgotten it.
Nice.
I'm great.
It happens sometimes.
How about you go through what your expectations are? I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add there. I think they should just continue and polish. You got it, I guess.
Yes,
I saw you were looking. I think you got it. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have anything to add there. I think they should just continue doing what they're doing, like cleaning up the maps, cleaning up the heroes, like bug fixing and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important part, and getting the game to a much more playable state. Because there's some heroes, thank you, that have just issue upon issue upon issue, and
I find Wu's a bit better now than he used to be, but there is definitely still a few issues here and there.
I don't enjoy sliding under people. I don't like sliding like off of them or something. It's very weird. But yeah. No, I think they should just continue on clean up the maps and like doing the bugs, fixing stuff.
The other thing that I was thinking of is I read it's kind of been in my mind a rank system. I've heard people bring it up on Reddit, and I think I've seen it a couple on the 2 Discords we have for Gigantic. I think I wouldn't mind it coming out in open beta. However, I wouldn't be upset if it came out either with or slightly after launch, kind of like how Overwatch did it, like a bit after launch, just to kind of lock everything in. That's kind of. I don't want them to rush the rank system. Let's get a player base before we split the community even more.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because what like a solution in short term would be like to create like a leaderboard thing on the site, to go like. Yeah, this guy's on the top and just track the normal casual games.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that would change like the attitude people have towards playing games, but that might be something that Motiga can implement, or that's an option.
It's kind of like it can work and it can't. It might not work. Like you're not gonna know until you do it.
Yeah.
Like with that type of system, I think personally, it would work, providing you don't advertise it. Like you go, this person was top of this month and stuff like that. If you just have it there, the people who care about competitive ranked will look at it and value it.
Yeah.
People who don't give a crap will just ignore it.
Mhm.
Like,
I think that's a good one. So yeah, I think that was it. We went through all of our topics pretty fast, actually. So we're still within the hour. So let's go towards a bit of a shout out session, I guess. Or if you guys have any questions in chat,
now get them in now.
Get them in now.
See them. But I guess we can kind of announce the small project we've been working on the past month or two.
Go ahead and do that while I look at the chat for questions.
I'll do it then. Okay, so obviously, like, we're very keen on the competitive side of Gigantic and wanting it to grow. So we currently we made a Discord, which we're gonna release tonight with this podcast, designed to help people find teams, find players for their your own teams, and to find other teams to scrim against, so we can kind of big up the competitive scene. It's currently got the tag Gigantic Comp EU. However, if you are from NA, feel free to try and use it. However, we are going to be mainly aiming for EU because we have one team.
Yes. We really want people to scrim against. We really want people to scrim against.
You have the link, correct?
Yes, I should actually have that open, or not. I have that on my laptop open. That's not smart. Yes, so I will post that. I will post that in the chat. Rakychu, go over your social shit while your camera is readjusting. There we go.
Yeah, my
go
camera just I think it's when I lean forward, it picks up my light.
Yeah, that
like,
might
behind
be.
me and just screws me up. Okay, so obviously, like, you can follow me on Twitter at Rakychu. Unfortunately, Rakychu was taken by someone, so I'm going to have to run with Rakychu. I also am trying to stream weekly, daily, I mean, or as often as I can, during the afternoons at twitch.tv/Rakychu. So that's just my name. So, Wushil, that's where you can find me.
Sure. Alright, you can find me on this channel, of course, where we're at. I think my stuff is actually just down below the video. That's really convenient, but it's twitch.tv/Gaiex. It's twitter.com/Gaiex. I have a YouTube channel that I'm not going to put in because that's a really long link. I really need that custom username on YouTube. But it'll take me 100 subscribers, so go subscribe there so I can get my custom link on YouTube. So yeah, it doesn't really look like we have any questions or topics.
No.
You want people to scrim against? Yes, we want. Or like more Rakychu, because I'm just a lowly sub.
You're the sub.
I'm just a lowly sub, and people who looks at their scrims and like tells them what they did wrong. But yeah, I think that's it. So thanks for joining me, Raky.
Cool.
I hope you all enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you all enjoyed it. We had like a solid 10 viewers, I believe, throughout the stream.
Nice.
So thanks for joining us all. That was more than we expected. Definitely.
Thank you for the good turnout, guys.
Yes. So that was going to be it for us today. We're going to be back next week with a couple of more topics that we will think of this week. And we'll make a Reddit post on that, like give you another overview on stuff, on what's going on and what's going to happen. And we hope to see you back then.
On a side note, we are uploading this. There'll be the Twitch VOD on Gaix's channel. There'll be on his YouTube. This will also be, and we'll also have a version we'll be uploading to SoundCloud. We've yet to make the SoundCloud, so we can't advertise it.
Nope. That's good preparation for another site.
The best way of finding the SoundCloud, if you want the MP3 version, is wait for the Reddit post next week. There'll be a link to it.
Definitely, we'll do that. So yeah, again, hope to see you next week. And have a very nice playing experience. And I'm leaking my OBS again, so bye-bye. See you later, guys.